Hi, this is Daniel Roster, part 2 of Anatomy Assignment 3. Gaseous exchange. Gaseous exchange is the process which is where diffusion takes place, so it's where oxygen that is being inhaled is stripped of all its carbon dioxide molecules, so all the waste products in the oxygen, so it's able to be sent to the working muscles. The process of gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli, which if you look in the bottom at the diagram there, in the middle section you'll see it's like two sacs. Those are the alveolus. In those, that is where the gaseous exchange takes place, and you'll find those in the lungs. The whole process is actually inside one of the capillaries inside the lungs. Therefore, the larger surface area of the capillaries, which we spoke about earlier on, the larger supply of oxygen we are able to provide to our working muscles, and also the quicker the process is. So therefore our body can work for longer at higher intensity because it has a larger supply of oxygen in the bloodstream and in the system. The mechanisms of breathing. There are two stages to breathing. Obviously, you're inspiration and expiration. So inspiration being you're breathing out, and expiration being you're breathing out. Inspiration being you're breathing in, and expiration being you're breathing out. During the process of inspiration, your diaphragm will contract and therefore move down. Your rib cage will contract and move out, and then will relax and move out. Due to the external intercostal muscles, therefore allowing a big space to occur in your thoracic cavity. So therefore you'll be able to inhale a lot more air. So therefore it will fill up with air, and then obviously you expirate. So then during the process of expiration, your diaphragm will relax and come up, and your rib cage will squeeze in tight. And due to the internal intercostal muscles contracting, that's why that will happen. It will squeeze all the air out of the thoracic cavity. Also, when breathing, everyone knows when you get hiccups, and hiccups is where your diaphragm is out of sync with your breathing rate. So you're trying to maybe breathe out, and your diaphragm's trying to move down. Therefore, obviously, you're creating space and trying to push air out, but there's no contraction at the bottom there, so you hiccup. It's like a little bubble of air. Control of breathing. There are two ways control to breathe in. So you've got your chemical control and your neural control. The rate and depth of your breathing will always increase due to exercise. As the higher the intensity of the exercise, the more rate and your depth of your breathing will be increased. The chemical control of breathing is what's known as a chemoreceptor. Chemoreceptors detect carbon dioxide in the blood. So this decides that we need more oxygen. So therefore, the capillary network around the lungs expand and increase the surface area, to therefore increase the size of the thoracic cavity to allow for more oxygen to take place and more oxygen to gather around in the lungs there in the thoracic cavity to be able to be pumped out from the heart via the left ventricle to all the working muscles. And neural control is where our body breathes for us. Basically, it's a kind of an unconscious act. It's where our body's in control of the oxygen and blood levels around the body, and ensures that we're getting all the oxygen and all the correct minerals that we need in order to keep our muscles working. Lung volumes. There are three different types of lung volumes. You have tidal volume, vital capacity, and residual volume. Your tidal volume is how much air is inhaled into the thoracic cavity in one breath at rest. So obviously, if you over-exercise, this will increase. Obviously, because your heart rate will be a lot higher. Your breathing rate will increase. So therefore, our muscles require more oxygen, so therefore to withstand the intensity that they're working at. So therefore your tidal volume will be higher in order to feed your muscles with that oxygen. Our vital capacity is a maximum amount of air that can be exhaled or inhaled from our thoracic cavity. This can also be effective through exercise. This will increase or decrease depending on our tidal volume. So obviously our tidal volume is how much air inhaled on our breath at rest. So if we inhale more at rest, then the amount of air we can exhale from our thoracic cavity will increase, depending on how much we take in. Finally, our residual volume, that's the amount of air that is left in the thoracic cavity after a maximum effort has been exerted on our breathing rate. So this will be affected by both our tidal volume and our vital capacity, because if our tidal volume is quite high, then the more oxygen that can be extracted, therefore allowing our muscles to be work for longer at higher intensity. So therefore it allows our residual volume to be higher, as we have a larger supply of oxygen left in the thoracic cavity. Kind of in simple terms, if our tidal volume is high, so we're going to be inhaling a lot larger air into our thoracic cavity, so therefore we have more air to be pumped to the body. to be able to allow muscles to work for longer at higher intensity. So therefore, the more oxygen we inhale, the more oxygen that's going to be left inside the thoracic cavity there, therefore causing an increase in the residual volume. Thank you for watching. That is the end of my anatomy assignment 3 video.